today I've got a module for you on 5 ways to grow your email list. So email marketing is one of my absolute favorites, favorite ways to market your business. And the reason is because you control the conversation there. In terms of digital marketing, email marketing is still, in like the online world, still the #1 way to grow your business when it comes to ROI. It produces the highest return on your investment, produces the highest revenues based on the amount of money that you're investing into it. So with that being said, I want to show you how to grow your email list, because a lot of you want to do email marketing. A lot of you talk about wanting to do email marketing, and it's not that complicated to actually deliver the marketing once you get it out there, but you have to build your email list. And so to build your email list, you've got to go, put your message out there. You've got to put some lead magnets out there to attract people into it. So we're going to start kind of just the basics of how to capture email addresses. I'm going to talk to you about the 5 ways that you can build your email list, and these things you can go do right away. These things I've used personally, we still use personally. So to start off, the basic thing you need to get with an email list is you need an email service provider. So something like a MailChimp, ConvertKit, Aweber, any of those are going to be sufficient for you. You don't need a complex system with automated features and all that jazz to get started. So you need to get an email service provider that helps keep compliant with spam laws, helps with deliverability, all the fun stuff that goes into email marketing. From there, you need to be able to capture the emails that you're going to get. So you need to create some sort of free opt-in gift. It's not enough to just say, hey, sign up for my newsletter. You're going to have to create an opt-in gift. Now, that could be a video series. You could write an ebook or a quick PDF. You could provide a cheat sheet, simple tips. And you could even offer a consultation or offer a quick coaching call on this. Something that you want to do is not get hung up into making it perfect. Just get something out there. If you have exercise videos, maybe you do a video, kind of like this one, on your top 10 exercises to help burn belly fat. Something like that. Have people opt in. When they opt in, they get this video where you're explaining this to them, and then you have a follow-up series from there. So 1, opt-in gift. 2, you need to create web forms. Now, web forms are going to be through your email service provider. That's what you put on the web page. So your website, and also through landing pages, you're going to need to build a landing page or a squeeze page that's simple, really, really simple on how to capture, or that provides how to capture the email addresses that you're actually going to be going after now. So you need an email service provider, you need an opt-in gift, you need a landing page. From there, we can start building our list. So my number one way to build your email list is right now, no surprise, Facebook ads. I hope you guys can read this. I hope it's large enough. I don't want to take up too much space here, but it's Facebook ads. Now, the reason that I love Facebook ads with this, everybody kind of goes with an application, right? They go right for the jugular on Facebook. Well, you have to be compliant with Facebook's rules, which is kind of finicky, right? Especially when we talk about fitness. They're super picky. So you can't have, shirts off, talk about outrageous claims of fat loss. So, maybe the top 10 tips to burn belly fat isn't the best, but, what if you want to lose? What if you want to get rid of that beer gut? But it depends on your ideal client. You've got to go through your marketing strategy, obviously, but you can run Facebook ads to just the opt-in, right? So instead of paying all this money to go get a lead, to get them to opt into, say, an application for your front-end offer or for a call or a success session, what if you just worked on building your email list? I bet that you could do this internally, like locally within your community, and not, by targeting to them, not going out into the world. And you could get leads really, really cheap with a simple video type of lead magnet opt-in targeted to their specific needs. You'd be able to narrow it down so tight to, if you know your ideal client, gender, hobbies, age range, all of that stuff, their interests, you're able to target it down so tight that you're going to be able to get leads really cheap. And then if you build out your autoresponder sequence after, you can follow up with them. So take the approach of maybe using Facebook ads to not just go after applications, not go right for the jugular and go for the kill, getting them to sign up as clients, but instead, get them to opt into your email list. So that's the first way. 2, joint ventures. That's my next absolute favorite. So JVs, strategic relationships. I used joint ventures all the time to build my email list in my local training business that I had before I sold it. And my method was I would write the email copy for them. I'd have a landing page for them. I'd basically do everything I could. I'd hand them over everything they possibly could, graphics, everything. And I would ask them to send it out to their email list. A lot of places won't even know that they have an email list. So a lot of other businesses, they won't know like what the value of their email list is. So you have to do a little bit of digging. They may not do email marketing, but you can ask, well, do you send a newsletter? What do you email any of your clients? Do you have an email list? What do you use? Dig into this. Do you get emails from your clients? And with that, they can send out your offer to their list. If they have social media, they can blast it on social media and push it out through that method. Now, with the joint ventures, a lot of times they'll do this with a little bit of reciprocation. You can brand your lead magnet so that it looks like it's sponsored by that company. So just putting the logo on the landing page so that they get that connection. Or you could pay them for the lead. So if you know in Facebook that I pay $1, 80 cents, whatever it might be per lead, that I get or per opt-in to my email list, I might say, hey, I'll give you 50 cents or I may give you $1 for every person. You can know what your cost of acquisition per lead and per customer is. When you know that, you know how much you can pay, or you can bribe your joint ventures to be able to go build your email list, right? Standard rule of thumb, a lot of people look at, like, for your email list, you want to be making about $1 per month off of that. That's the online world. So, I think if you have an email list of a couple thousand people, you should be able to generate 5 to 10 new clients from that list, as long as you're bringing in new people to the list and building it over time and it's active. 2,000 old leads that's been on a dead email list for 2 or 3 years isn't as good as 2,000 or 3,000 people on a brand new or a relatively new email list. It's really engaged. So it's all about the numbers. In terms of the size of your list, you want to know, how fresh are they, how engaged are they paying attention to your content. But if you know your cost of acquisition for a lead and the cost of acquisition per client, you can afford to go bribe your joint ventures, which leads me to my next best top way to build your email list, and this is list buys. So list buying, with this, what we do with the list buy is you go to businesses that actually run marketing. So they sell marketing, not run marketing. They sell marketing, newspapers, radio stations, magazines, and most of these people will be building an email list. They'll have a subscriber base. That'll be a VIP. They'll be doing something to get coupons or discounts or something like that. You can pay to rent that list. So an example, I'll give you 2 examples that I've done actually in my training business. Newspaper had a list of 10,000 people on this like VIP list, right? And they send out discounts. So a lot of people would pay a couple $100, send out a coupon or a discount or a sale or something like that, and just kind of hope to get return. I switched it up on them. I negotiated down, got 3 email blasts. I paid $300 for those email blasts, so $100 a piece. We spaced it out over several weeks, and with that, I offered a free gift. So I just had them post an image with some copy. It clicked over, it went to my landing page, and I captured all of the leads from that. From those 3 email blasts, I had 1,500 opt-ins to my email list. So I got a really low cost per lead, and at that time I wasn't as smart as I would be now in terms of being able to coach someone to run a business, and I wasn't tracking all of how much does it cost me per customer. I don't know exactly how many customers I got out of that, but I can promise you out of those 1,500 emails, I certainly got a couple people to come in on an FEO, a couple people to become clients. Most likely, usually a couple dozen became clients. So great return on investment, and all I had to do was nurture those leads on my email list. Another one, a radio station. We did advertising through the radio station, but just the radio ads were one part of our negotiated deal. The other part of our deal was a monthly list, monthly email that went out to their list, and they had a list of a couple, almost 10,000, I believe. It might have been closer to 12,000 that they emailed, semi-frequently. So we had once a month email blast, We ran the commercials. I got interviewed on the station. We did a weekly show. There was all sorts of stuff that we got negotiated into that. So it was essentially like part of my overall contract and negotiated deal with them was the list buy. Bought part of their list. We still do this to this day with several other groups within the fitness industry to build our business and to add to our email list. Some of you might have come in off something like that from PT on the Net or PFP. And so you can do this. You can also negotiate these things and pay out kind of a referral fee. So it's like an affiliate promotion. And so with that, what you do is go to this and say, hey, I'm going to run a promotion, and this might be right to an FEO. So you might send their list right to an FEO, or if you have a funnel built up, okay, and you say, I'll pay you 100% of my trial or my jumpstart, my transformation contest. I'll pay you 100% of the revenues that I get from that, from all the people that you send me. I'll pay you those fees. Maybe you do 50%. You have to know your acquisition cost and your costs overall in terms of, what's your profit, what are your margins, how much does it really cost you to service those people, what are your conversion rates. But you'd be safe to say, I'll pay you 50% of your referrals that you send me. I'll pay it to you off that front end offer. So if your transformation contest is $99, you give them $50. For everyone that signs up that comes in from them. And then you just have to track that. That could be a great deal for them. 4 or 5 signups is a nice little check for a business owner or someone that has a list for not doing a whole lot of anything other than sending some emails that you probably gave them. You can do this through their social media as well, by social media blasts, and that's kind of like the influencer marketing model. The next, your website, and it's not what you're thinking. Your website, you can get a lot of, and that's written really small, and I know that, but it says website. You can get a ton of emails off your website. So if you produce content, videos, blog posts, articles, if you're putting stuff up on your website, the obvious is on your website you have an opt-in to get your free gift on the homepage, right? But if you're putting out content like we teach you to do, you're doing the videos, writing the blog posts, every one of those videos, every one of those blog posts, all your social media posts can drive back to opting in all over your website and linking to your landing page where they can get their free gifts. If you have a fat loss video, top 10 tips for fast fat loss, and you write blog posts on nutrition for fat loss, workouts for fat loss, all of this, each one of those blog posts at the bottom, you ought to have a call to action where it tells people, go get your 10 tips for fat loss to opt into your email list, right? You can put that all over your website. So don't just use the homepage and the landing that links to the opt-in form there. Use it all over with your content. Every video that you do, at the end of your video, say, hey, go to this URL, and if you can link to it in the video, you can do some fancy overlay stuff. You can write it out, or have it in the description. Say you put it on YouTube. Link to that landing page. Say, go get your free 10 fat loss tips here. Make it something super easy to remember. Maybe it's your regular website / whatever, 10 fat loss tips. And you send people to that. So do it through your content. Do it through your website. Finally, last tip. Seminars or workshops. You can build email lists with this. Now, you can use your email list to promote that internally, but if you lined up seminars through, let's say, and I'm going to use seminars as like lunch and learns, workshops, any public speaking opportunity. Probably better to say public speaking, right? But with seminars, you can go deliver a speech, talk about a topic, and it can be really related to your opt-in gift. And so you can deliver part of that, you can give them tons of information, and then everybody that's there. So you could book this through businesses, through groups, Chamber of Commerce, networking groups. There's all sorts of groups that get together that are looking for speakers. You just have to use your network to get into it. And you can go public speak, and then at the end, capture people's emails and deliver the gift. And you can just do it as simple as go to this page. I've seen it at text this number and get this free gift. Or if you just want to hand out a website or a piece of paper and say, hey, give me your name and email address, the best email address for you, and I'll make sure to sign it up. And by the end of the day, so you just go in and input those into your system. By the end of the day, you'll have this in your inbox, and I'll deliver this free gift for you. If you're interested, go ahead and sign up. So it's just a little different route. It's a little longer marketing cycle to build your email list this way. But I don't always want to go in for the kill. I don't want to go for the jugular all the time, especially if I've got a good email plan built up where I'm nurturing the leads. I'm sending content frequently and then following our system of, once a month offering your FEO to your entire email list, or providing them lots of opportunities through other content, through your emails, that you're sending out. So if you follow these 5 things, Facebook ads, joint ventures, list buys, adding extra to your website through content, and then using seminars to build your email list, you'll build a really powerful marketing tool for your business.